Hi everybody. Now in today's video, I wanted to change things up a little bit. Now when I'm not in the kitchen cooking or doing something else, I'm usually outside working in my yard. A lot of my flowers and plants that have been blooming beautifully this spring and early summer are starting to give out and they're starting to fade. And I wanted to show them to you before they really die out. I have been wanting to do this earlier, like maybe a couple of weeks ago, but it's been raining so much that I never got the chance. So today was a beautiful day and I thought I would do that. So I'm going to start out right here behind me and I'm going to show you some of the plants that I love out in my front and backyard. This one right here is my oak leaf hydrangea. Now, the reason it's called an oak leaf hydrangea is because of the shape and design of the leaf, you see. Now, these flowers that you see are ivory beige in the spring. And then as the time goes by, they start to get a little darker and darker. And then they get brownish wine colored. And look at them. They are so beautiful right now. See? This is one of the reasons why I love this oak leaf hydrangea. Now, we didn't know it was going to get this big. We thought it was going to be like 2 feet, 3 or 4 feet. But it just got huge. And we're not able to walk in and walk out on this sidewalk because this oak leaf hydrangea has just taken over. As you can see, my Ron put some stakes there trying to keep it back because it was falling forward. And so it needs to be pruned. So after I prune it down, it should be a lot smaller. And down here on the ground, I've got some Supertunia Bordeaux. These should have been covering up all that ground there. But because we haven't had a lot of sun and it's been raining a lot, they just haven't taken off like they did last year. But they're still pretty. I can appreciate them anyway. Now right here, I've got my Pinky Winky hydrangea. This Pinky Winky hydrangea, I mean, I searched for it everywhere a couple of years ago because I wanted it so bad. And none of the nurseries had it. Eventually, with time, I found it. And I put it in, and it was really small. It was like a foot high, and now look at how big it's gotten. Now, these flowers right here, they're cone-shaped, as you can see. From the middle down, it'll be a bright, beautiful pink. And from the middle up, it'll be ivory beige, just the way it is right now. Now, all those little beads up at the top are all going to open up, and then it's going to be all covered in those flowers that you see there. So it still has a way to go before it shows its real beauty. But this is one of my favorites. Now, this lone flower that you see in the back is my Astilbe. See? And it was really bright bubblegum pink. And now it's starting to get darker, more of a wine color. And then after a while, it's going to get brown. And then you can either cut it down or just leave it there. And so right now, it's looking a beautiful wine colored. But it was real bright baby pink. Now right here is my allium. You see all those pom-poms? They're starting to change color, and these pom-poms are starting to look pink, but they're going to get real dark lavender purple. And now it still has a lot of new little buds that haven't opened up yet, but this is also one of my favorites. It's just so pretty. And I put them in vases all around the house, and they don't drop any of their petals or anything. It just stays beautiful and purple, vibrant. Back here in the back, I've got some of my salvia. Now, this salvia was beautiful in the spring, and right now it's just less and less. I'm seeing less and less of these flowers every day because, you know, they're starting to die out. Now, before you know it, I'm going to cut them down all the way to the ground, and then they'll be big and beautiful again next year. This is my wine and roses. This bush right here is my wine and roses. If you look at it now, you can't really appreciate it much. It just looks like a bush. But in the springtime, it'll be covered in big, beautiful bunches of pink flowers. As you know already, I love pink and purple and lavender. I just love the combination of those colors against the green and the black of the ground. And right here, I have my Russian sage denim and lace. This one right here. It smells beautiful, kind of like in between peppermint and Vicks. It's a scent that I just have a hard time describing, but it's beautiful. Almost, I wish there was a perfume that smelled like this. I like to cut some of these little branches and I stick them in a vase all around the house, and the whole house will smell. But since it's young, I really can't cut it down too much because I just put it in early this spring. But this whole area that you see behind it is going to be covered because it's going to get big, like maybe 4 feet high and about 2 feet wide. So it'll cover all that area there. Now, down here at the bottom, I've got some white supertunias, and I like my white supertunias tucked in there because I like the way they look with the knockout roses in the back. Now, this knockout bush was covered in roses, but, you know, they already bloomed, and I went ahead and deadheaded them all, and some of them are starting to come back. And in here in the back, in the middle, I have some coral colored little roses in there, and these just bloom and they shrivel up and fall, and then they bloom again, and they're just so pretty. This right here is my fall mum. Now, if you go to the grocery store during the fall time, like Halloween time, Thanksgiving, you'll see these pots with mums. They come in yellow and orange and plum color. That's what this one is, and this is a plum color. So every little tiny bead that you see right there is going to be a flower. So it's not time for it to bloom, but when it does, it's striking. These right here in the front, these yellow and green that you see up here in the front are my hostas. And I put them in here because I just thought that it looked really nice against the black of the ground, the contrast. And these back here are my coleus. And these are going to get to about 4 feet high. And then there's 4 of them. So they're going to be really tight in there, and it's going to look like a thick hedge. They're going to be lime green yellow with that wine colored tip against my lime green hostas. I think it's going to be striking here, and I'm excited about them. This is the first time that I put these in, and I'm excited to see how they're going to look right behind my green yellow hostas. These 2 lime green ones that you see back here are the same as these, except these are just lime green and they don't have any color besides the lime green. But I think that these are going to look really pretty against these coleus during the fall. Now this right here is my sedum. Now every one of those little bunches right there are going to be pink. Right now it's just green, but all those little beads that you see are all going to be little pink flowers. But you won't be able to see them pink till about the end of August, September, and then in October. And they'll be pink and beautiful. Now this hydrangea right here that you see is my endless summer hydrangea. Now depending on whether your ground is high acid or high alkaline, they'll be either pink or blue. Mine are pink. Now I like to cut these down and put them in vases inside the house. And they just last so long, and they're so pretty. This is one of my favorite little areas here. Now I put in some white supertunias in there, and I think that the combination of the pink and the white look really pretty together. And here's more of my allium. Now these haven't changed colors yet. As you can see, they're still kind of greenish, but they're going to get vibrant in lavender, and they're going to be so pretty in there. Now the lavender of the allium and the pink and the white together is going to be really striking. Now these right here are my lilacs. Now right now they're just green and they don't have any flowers or anything on them. Go ahead and post a picture on the screen just so you'll know what they look like this past spring. Now every time I come out this front door to get the mail, I can smell them, and it's just like somebody just sprayed perfume in the air. They just smell beautiful. Now these 2 little lime green bunches that you see in the bottom, those are my little stone crop. They won't get any bigger than that, and they're not going to bloom flowers or anything. They just stay that color. But I noticed that the ground was really dark and it needed something in there, so I put those 2 little bunches. I think they look pretty in there against the darkness of the ground. Now these are my supertunia bubblegum. All the pink that you see are supertunias. And then the lavender right here is my supertunia Bordeaux. And I went ahead and put the pink and the lavender together because I like the combination of the lavender and the pink. And then these right here that you see, this is my Truffula Pink Gomphrena. It's got a long name, but it's just a simple little plant there. But all those little pink pom-poms, you know, I'm going to cut them all down. As you can see, it looks like a little lollipop. Now you can cut these into little bunches and make a wreath out of them, and they don't fade. And you can actually bring the wreath out year after year, and the little pom-poms will continue to stay pink, just like that. So last year I had a bunch of them in the back, and this year I decided to put 2 on the right and 2 on the left, right there on the steps. I've got 2 more right there, see? And then I've got some buttercup petunias in the pots right here. Right here I've got my chives. I come out here and I cut some of those chives down when I'm making a potato salad or something. You know, I have it there. Now these right here are my daylilies. There's only one yellow daylily that you can see there. See? But in the spring, all this front part was covered with hundreds of yellow flowers, just like that one that you see there. So this was a striking little wall here. It just looks so beautiful in the spring. Now these black-eyed Susans were in the backyard, and I didn't like the way they looked, so I took them out and I came and I put them here under this new tree that we put in last year. See, it's still a small tree, but it's gonna get really big, and this tree is gonna get bright yellow, almost the color of these black-eyed Susans. This tree is gonna be bright yellow, but we won't see it bright yellow until the fall. And unfortunately, we're not here in the fall because, as you know, we only live here in Ohio 6 months out of the year. So when it's the most beautiful is when we're not here. Now, as you can see, the city is gonna widen up this street. So right now, our corner here is a mess. But it's gonna be beautiful when they're done. So every morning at about 6:30 in the morning, I start hearing the caterpillars and the trucks going by. So we've got a messy corner here, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like. See? So when I talk about my front yard and my plants and all that, you'll know what I'm talking about. And I'm glad I got to come out today and show you what I have, because I think that slowly as the days go by, they're starting to fade and everything is slowly giving out. And I made it just in time. I wanted to do this a couple of weeks ago and I never got to do it. So I'm glad I came out today and I showed you this. So next time in one of my cooking videos, when I talk about my yard and I talk about some of my flowers, or I show you some that I have in a vase, you'll know where I got them from. Now these are white seedless grapes, and they're going to be sweet and delicious. Now as you look down like this, and over here are the Concord grapes, and those are going to be red and juicy and delicious, and I'm going to make a lot of jam and jelly out of them. Look at these. See? So what I usually do is I come in here and I just cut some of these leaves off like this. See? I just cut them down so that the sun can hit them. And they're starting to change a little bit, as you can see. See this one? And then before you know it, they're all going to be red and beautiful. And they make the most delicious jam and jelly. Look at these right here. See? See how they're changing colors? Now this is the way they're all going to look as the time goes by. That means I'm going to be very busy making a lot of jam and jelly because of all these grapes that we have. Now I've got some of my Super Tunia Bordeaux's here and my little yellow Super Bells. And I've got some more right here and some more right here. I just love the color yellow and the purple combined. I just think it looks really, really happy together. So this is where my Ron and I like to come out in the evenings, and sometimes I'll make sandwiches or we grill out here, and we'll bring it out here and we'll sit here at the table and drink a glass of wine or something. And this is where we like to spend it in the evenings if we don't have a lot of mosquitoes or rain. But so this is where we usually grill, and this is where we usually relax. Now sometimes in the morning when it's really cloudy and beautiful, I'll also bring breakfast out here. And my Ron and I like to have our breakfast and our coffee out here, and it's really cool. And we can hear all the birds, and it's just awesome out here. And then there's days when it's raining and thundering, so we don't get to do it. But this is one of my little favorite spots back here in the patio. Now I'm going to show you a bush that I really love. Now these 3 bushes right here are called orange rocket burberries. Now these 3 bushes are absolutely beautiful in the spring and early summer because the tips are bright, vibrant orange, and the inside of it, I don't know if you can see it from there, but it'll be lime green, like yellow lime green. So now the green has already darkened a little bit, so it's not vibrant lime green yellow, and the tops have gotten a little darker. But in the spring and summer, it is fire orange, just like these little orange ones that you can see here. And so we had the blank garage wall here, so I stuck the flag up there. And since these are called orange rocket, I just thought it went with a flag, right? Now I just wanted to come out here and just show you what I have and show you what I like to do when I'm not inside cooking and wearing my apron. And this is one of the few times when I'm not wearing an apron is when I'm outside. So I hope you like my video and send me a comment or a question if you have one. And thank you for joining me today.